You know the cliché about afternoon sessions, especially the first ones. They are the most difficult ones because it's now up to us to keep you awake. Your stomach is working. I hope your brains are also still working, so we'll do our utmost to keep you alive and kicking. And the subject of this first afternoon session should guarantee a lively debate, even I hope, with some of you in the room, because the subject is peace and journalism. Now, this morning in both of the panels, we heard several speakers making all kind of remarks or demands even on journalists and on the media and their responsibility in you know, not creating problems, but even one step further in encouraging peace and quietness. So I think it will be one of the questions that the speakers will try to answer: in how far are journalists suited to promote peace, or is their role more that of an observer and a reporter and less of a preacher? I think that some of the questions and some of the recommendations this morning on journalism were understandable and well-grounded, but not so easy to put into practice. Especially not in a period where, and I think we should be aware of that when we listen to the three speakers, especially not in a moment in time where media almost all over the world are in quite a dire state. There is, maybe with some exceptions, there is a growing pressure in many countries by governments on their media. If you look at the Freedom House reports, to give you just one example, one can see over the years there is in many countries a growing tendency by governments to try to use mainstream media as serving their interests, serving majoritarian interest in many countries around the world, which doesn't make life very easy for journalists. There's at the same time a commercial pressure more and more by media owners who find it more and more difficult to make money in printing newspapers or producing television programs. With the shift to social media, mainstream media, newspapers, television channels are, it seems to be a bit crushed in between, facing the competition of social media, having on the other hand their owners demanding or asking them to keep on making money, which doesn't make life very easy on many journalists. One very morbid example of how journalists are being manipulated is, of course, the fact that some of them are being beheaded to provoke their governments to intervene. I mean, that is what we've been seeing, unfortunately, in Syria, in Iraq. These are all examples where journalists are the victims of aggressive policies, either by their governments, by people who capture them or hijack them, or by competitors who make life difficult on them. Having said that, we will have three contributions this afternoon coming from three different countries with three different backgrounds, which I hope at the end of this session will give at least some of the answers to the questions that were asked in previous sessions, some of the demands made on journalists.